baby. Grand rising kings, queens, in betweens. It is time to rise and thrive and elevate your mind, if you know what I mean. Look, I know a lot of people out there are struggling right now. You're not alone. I know what it feels like to be working day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, to try and develop a more successful lifestyle, especially when it comes to monetary gain. I know what it's like pouring your whole heart and your whole soul into one thing, or even a couple different things, and feeling as if you're always coming up short. You find yourself questioning, am I doing the right thing? Rather than knowing deep down you are, and that it's just a matter of time until you receive everything that you're working towards. A wise person once said that success is not something that you can buy. It's not something that you can go out and gain. It's something that you attract. And I believe that. Not only that, you can put a wrong equation into a calculator and still get a right answer. Let that sink in. You can put a wrong equation into a calculator and still get a right answer. Which goes to show you that maybe you just need to revisit that equation. And in how I'm speaking, the equation being the process of what you're doing. Every now and again, we gotta take a little bit of us time, a little me time. We gotta sit down and we gotta revisit our sheet of intentions. And if you don't have one, I highly encourage you to create one, your list of intentions on what you plan and want to achieve, what you will undoubtedly achieve at some point in your life. As they always say, when is none of your business, just like the how. You just have to have the purpose to improve the way you're living and continue to show up every day and be driven. One of the most challenging things to do is to show up day in and day out for days, weeks, months, and year at a time when you aren't getting that physical payout. Trust me, I know how difficult it can be. It's like mental torment every single day. And then all of a sudden, you start questioning, when is this gonna happen for me? Why hasn't this happened yet? What am I doing? Is it me? Is it that I'm not deserving of these things? And that's a slippery slope, my friends. And like anything, great things take a lot of momentum. But those negative thoughts, all of a sudden, they create so much momentum, and before you know it, what started off as a snowball has turned into a massive boulder, and it is rolling down that hill like a freight train, and it is not going to stop anytime soon. I know how challenging it may be. I know how you may feel as if you want to give up, but like I said, maybe it's not the answer that's the problem. Maybe it's the equation. Maybe you're not putting in the right numbers, the right figures, the right things to get what you're looking for. The greatest carpenters in the world all say the same thing: measure twice, cut once. I know that it may seem impossible at times. I know that it may seem like the harder you work, the further away from where you want to be you become. Trust me, you're not alone. I'm right there with you. I've been there. But you got to be willing to weather the storms. You have got to be willing to continue to get up and to revisit, like I said, that course and plan of intention, and refocus your mind and put your attention on your intentions and build a game plan around that. What do you want most? Do you still feel as if you want what you want? Do you feel a certain level of passion? Do you feel a certain level of life every time you begin to do what you are saying that you want and working towards receiving? If the answer is yes, then redevise a new plan. but never change the plan at hand. Remember that this life, you can't see into the future. You can't peer into it too much. You can have an idea, because thoughts do turn to things. Thoughts can be turned into reality. But every great thing starts with a vision. It starts with an idea. I'm sure you've heard it many times before. Thomas Edison creating the light bulb took him over 1,000 times to get to the light bulb. And now look, you can't go anywhere without seeing a light bulb. The light behind me, look how much it's changed. The light behind me, the light on the wall in front of me, lighting up my beautiful face for you all to see. The light when you walk into the store, the light when you walk into the bathroom, the kitchen, you name it. It all started with an idea, and then a relentless pursuit in creating the proper equation to get that fundamental answer, that right answer that a lot of us search for, and a lot of us come up short because we give up right before we're about to get blessed. Have you ever heard that you get blessed the most right after you get stretched the most? It's kind of funny. You feel like you're such a good person with great intentions. You don't do any harm to anyone. You don't put others down. You go out of your way to pick everybody else up, to make sure everyone else is good, to see a smile on somebody else's face when you are one moment away from breaking and losing it. And you still don't get rewarded in a sense. You ask, when is my time coming? Like I said, man, you can't worry about when you get blessed. You just got to know that it's on its way. And then get back to the plan at hand. So like I said, maybe it's not that you're not doing the right things. Maybe you just need to make a minor adjustment. One movement of a decimal can completely change the figure on the calculator. Maybe you moved a little too far right when you should have went left. Maybe you don't need a decimal. All I know is the moment you decide throwing in the towel is a better idea than continuing to walk the path, even though it may be uncomfortable, although there may be a lot of tormenting times and moments, you got to ask yourself, do you really want it? And if the answer is yes, then keep going. Keep pushing. But just know, the higher the mountain, the harder the climb. But the more beautiful the view when you finally get to the top. Just remember that every now and again you need to take a break. You need to revisit the plan. You need to say, is this still aligning? Is this process looking like it is bringing in new things to my life, whereas before it wasn't? And then continue to evolve, continue to change, continue to grow, continue to become the person worthy of receiving what it is that you are actively attempting and trying to bring into your life and into this reality, not just for you to see it. You can already see it. You can see it as clear as day in your vision. You can see it with your eyes wide open and your eyes wide shut. Other people may not be able to, but they will. They will. Listen, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. The only one you have to prove anything to is yourself. Just remember that the expectations set on you by other people are none of your business. The expectations that you set on yourself, well, my friend, that is everything. To show up every day and give your best and then double on the days that you don't want to show up. Greatness is a process, but it takes time. Just remember, it's about what is worth it to you. So revisit that plan. If you think something can change to improve, then change it. Wait for it to improve. All you have is time. One thing I know, however, is if you give up right now, when you've come this far, when you've already sacrificed so much, what's a few more days? What's a few more months? What's a few more years? You never know when this life is gonna come to an end. We only get it once. So why don't you let The feelings that you feel fuel you to become that person that is worthy of receiving everything that they want, and also willing and capable and able to harness the weight of all that success. Because believe me, the more successful you become, the heavier the weight becomes. There's a difference between $1 problems, $100 problems, and $1 million problems. In the words of Les Brown, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started in order to be great. Allow this message to influence you in a moment and on a day where you feel like giving up. Save this to a watch later playlist, a go-to video. Come back here and visit it. I do these for you. I know what it feels like when you're traversing towards something a lot different than your friends, than your family members. I know what it's like where no one else understands you. Just be mindful. Be mindful of how you feel. It's okay. When you're doing something a lot different than the conventional 9 to 5, not a lot of people understand why. Very few know how, so be cautious who you go to for advice. Surround yourself with people that are doing better than you. Surround yourself with people that have a little bit more knowledge so you can learn and gain and soak it up. And remember to make your library bigger than your flat screen. The most successful people in the world all have that in common. They don't have time to sit and binge watch shows. They don't have time to waste time. There's a time and a place to relax, yes, but you can't have that every day, especially if you ain't working to earn it. Just remember that this life is whatever you choose to make it. Why not make it unfathomably amazing? Why not make it unimaginably phenomenal? You have what it takes. I believe in you, but you have to believe in you. So take all this love, take all this grace, and apply it into your life, because, baby, you have got no time to waste. Just remember that you were given this vision for a reason, and you are only cheating yourself by not pursuing it. If not full-time, at least part-time. But don't sleep on your vision, because one day you might wake up when you are physically incapable, and your biggest regret is that you didn't give this life everything that you had. Why not make today that day? Take back your life. Revisit the equation. Start putting in some new figures. And next thing you know, you're going to get some new answers. And maybe one of those answers, even if it may not be the one you thought, might lead you to the one that you knew all along, but we're just trying to figure out. You got what it takes. I hope this message inspired you. I hope this message moved you. And I just want to say thank you for your time, because that, my friends, is the most valuable and precious commodity that we share as a race, regardless of your belief or your race. You are incredible. You are divine. You are amazing. You are ambitious. You are magical. You are remarkable. You are extraordinary. I just hope you see that the way I see it in you. I don't have to know you personally to know that you are capable of accomplishing great things if you would just get out of your own way. Thank you. And may this message resonate with you from this day forward. I appreciate you. I value who you are. I respect who you've been. And man, I am so proud that you are choosing to become who you want to be, because you deserve it. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. You've got what it takes, baby. So go out there and get it. You've got this.